Fandom, how's it going? It's your boy Hardcover, and today we're taking a look at Superman American Alien. We're going to see if this little hardcover is worth your money, so let's dive into it. Superman American Alien is written by the controversial Max Landis, and if you've heard anything about Max Landis in the geek community, you know that he's very outspoken, and in some circles he's considered to be a bit of a pretentious douche. Credit where credit is due, Landis did write the badass film Chronicle that if you are a comic book fan and you've never seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a really fun found footage film, but that's neither here nor there. In Superman American Alien, Landis decided to kind of try his own take at his own version of All-Star Superman. What I mean by this is that Landis essentially created a series of 7 one-shot issues, and each one of these issues is designed to highlight a certain aspect of Superman and of his personality and what he is known for. The question is, does Landis stick the landing? And for the most part, yeah, he actually does. I have to say that if you're somebody that's looking for a great way to start with the character of Superman, this is actually a really fun take on him. You don't really need to know anything about the character. You don't need to know anything about his history. All you need to know is that it has Superman in it. It highlights different aspects of Superman's life, most notably his younger days before he decided to put on the cape and the cowl, and the events that led him to decide to don the famous S. One of my favorite issues in here involves Clark Kent winning a cruise, and on his way to the cruise, his plane crashes in the middle of the ocean. He ends up swimming across the ocean and stumbling upon this yacht. On the yacht, everybody is celebrating Bruce Wayne's birthday, and since pretty much nobody's seen Bruce Wayne in probably 10 years at this point in the story, they all mistake him for it. Clark at first ends up denying it, but then he just goes with it and has a great time. What I love so much about this is that it explores Clark Kent in a way that we haven't seen in years. Because the Superman we typically get in the New 52 and in the DC Universe is serious, he's always fighting monsters, he's not lighthearted, he's not really shown as having fun. You have to understand that Superman has a human side. He likes to have fun. He is a character that enjoys life. This is a great example of that. I also have to say that Max Landis really understands the character of Lex Luthor. There is an exchange in this book where Superman and Luthor talk to each other, and the entire time Luthor is just playing mind games with him and belittling him in this condescending manner that is just really scathing. I mentioned earlier that this is Max Landis' attempt at All-Star Superman, and while All-Star Superman every single issue was a home run, a lot of the issues in here are more inside drives. They're good, but they're nothing spectacular. I think the biggest weakness of this book is kind of the way it's designed. Because this is a series of one-shot issues with different artists, you get varying degrees of quality. For example, while I thought the first issue, Dove, was an interesting examination of Clark Kent's childhood and him hitting puberty and discovering his superpowers, I thought the second issue, Hawk, was a bit lackluster with art by Tommy Lee Edwards, who, at best, I can kind of describe him as a poor man's Sean Murphy. Sorry. At this point, you're probably wondering, well, what am I getting in this hardcover edition? Hardcover, why are you taking so long to get to it? Let's dive into it. Okay, right off the bat, Superman American Alien. I know a lot of you guys really like it when I show off the book, so you can kind of take a look and see there's Superman, Clark Kent in front of everybody, and how pretty much everybody stands for what the Superman ideals are. Really cool cover. I dig it a lot. This is not a Superman comic. That's exactly what it is. And we're going to pop that open, and there is the Jock cover right on the front of the hardcover. I really dig this. I like this a lot. Really cool cover done by Jock. I know a lot of people not that crazy about it, but I really do like it a lot. So we're going to keep going from there. Open it up. Superman American Alien. And you can see some of the art. I love this art. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the first story arc is drawn by Nick Dragotta of East of West fame, and I am correct, and it is gorgeous. I mean, look at that art. Look how beautiful that looks. Oh, and the colors pop right off the page. And there is Jay Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Really cool. Yeah, that is Jay Lee. You can tell he's got a thing for really pointy buildings for some reason. I don't get it. And no backgrounds. But overall, it's a nice little standard hardcover. You're not getting anything too crazy in terms of special features or anything like that. You're getting a few little things in the back. Here's some cover galleries. Ooh la la. And all that other stuff. Don't want to get into spoilers. And sketches, variant covers, character designs. pretty much your standard stuff that you get in this type of edition. Nothing too crazy and nothing that's gonna blow your mind, you know? At this point, this is all pretty much standard stuff, but still, it's a nice little added touch. I would have liked to have had at least some form of commentary by Max Landis on the creative process of the book. But yeah, other than that, it's a nice little package that they put together. They just didn't really go out of their way to include anything incredible. Well, I've already hinted at the art. Let's take a deeper dive into it. You've got some top talented artists in here. I'm talking about Jock, Francis Manapul, Jay Lee, Joel Jones, Nick Dragotta. The list goes on and on and on. These are guys that are at the top of their game right now, with Jock and Nick Dragotta absolutely killing it. Now, I understand Jock's art style isn't for everybody, but he draws a badass Lobo in here, and the fight scenes in here are awesome. When Clark Kent dresses up as Superman for the first time in this book and he goes up against Lobo, the main man, it is such a badass fight. Now, I know I would get a lot of hate in here if I at least didn't mention Jay Lee. I think the Jay Lee issue in here is actually really solid. It's some of the best work that I've seen him do in a very long time. And I'm not even a Jay Lee fan. I'm not a fan of the whole no background thing that he tends to do. But he draws a really cool Lex Luthor. And the scene that Superman confronts Batman for the first time is awesome. It's such a really great moment, and I think if you're a fan of Jay Lee, you can't go wrong with that. I think the weakest of the bunch is definitely Tommy Lee Edwards. Now, when you've got a book that is jam-packed with so many great artists, so many great creators on here, somebody's going to stand out as the weakest of the bunch, and it just so happens that it's him. He's got kind of a scratchy pencil style that if you've ever seen anything Sean Murphy's done, it's kind of reminiscent of that, only I think it's not as good. There were a few panels in here that looked a bit rushed, and they didn't look like they were done all the way. Overall, if you're looking for a great place to start reading Superman, this is a solid place to start. While it's not a grand slam home run like All-Star Superman or Superman Birthright or any of those other books, it's still a really solid and fun read. I just don't think he absolutely crushed it like he was going for. With that said, there's about 4 out of the 7 stories in here that I think are actually really good, with the other ones just being kind of meh. They're fun stories, don't get me wrong, it's nothing that's going to blow your socks off like an All-Star Superman or a Superman Birthright. And if you're looking for something to pick up one afternoon and you're wanting to read Superman and you're in the mood for it, this is a good place to start. So if you've never seen my channel, I rate my books on a pass, borrow, buy perfect scale, and I'm giving this one a borrow. There you have it, my review for Superman American Alien. I know a lot of you guys have wanted me to review it for a while. What are your thoughts on American Alien? What do you think about it? I've heard mixed things over the past few months. I've heard some issues are better than others and all this other stuff. And for the most part, a lot of that stuff was valid. I know Max Landis gets a lot of hate in the geek community, rightfully so, because the guy's kind of an ass. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. It's a fun story and it's a fun set of one-shots, just not every single one of them was a home run. If this is your first time checking out my channel, I do weekly reviews of hardcovers, trade paperbacks, omnibuses, absolute editions, all that good stuff. I'm doing Walking Dead discussions after the show on Sunday. Check out everything that I've got for you guys. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. That's going to be found in the description below. Check out those links, guys. And if you enjoy this type of content and you want to get some exclusive videos not seen anywhere else, Patreon is found right there. For as little as $1 a month, you get some cool stuff. Let me know what you thought about Superman American Alien in the comment section down below. I love you guys. Bye.